Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Bob Marshall, and I want to welcome you to our very special 44th anniversary celebration of the founding of this church, Unity Orlando. I want to thank Brian for getting us going. You did a wonderful job. Thank you. Now, I have a very special announcement to make today. And that is that next Sunday, we will open for the very first time for services here at the church. You're going, ooh, is it too soon? Some are going, oh, thank God we're finally there. And others are going, ooh, this is way too soon. And that's exactly the way we expect things to be. So consequently, we will also be live streaming both the 9:15 and the 11 a.m. service at the same time. So that means you have to make a choice. You have to choose. Are you one of the ones who says, oh, I've been waiting for this, I want to go out, I want to go to the church, I want to be there? And if you do, we're going to institute some safety procedures. But you got to decide whether you're going to come to Unity, that is the building, or whether you're going to join Unity on the web, on the live streaming, because they both are available. We understand that not everybody's going to be ready to come back. A lot of you are not ready to come to a physical gathering yet. And we expect you to make a decision and do what is best for you, however you want to do it. Now, for those who do choose to come to the church, we will be observing as many safety procedures as we can. Here they are. We encourage the use of masks. We will sit in designated every other row seating and expect family units or singles to space out appropriately. There will be, get this, and this is hard for Unity people, no hugs, no handshakes, no greeting time, and no social hour afterwards in Meyer Hall. And I won't be standing back there greeting you on the way out. All of this is to try to just keep everybody safe. We will be having You pick up your own bulletin if you want one. You will not need to touch the offering bag. The ushers will hold them, and you can reach out and put something in. And if you wish to talk with your friends after service, we encourage you to go outside. Okay? We are going to make it available for those who are crawling out of their skin and saying, I want to get back to the church. I want to see people again, but we do not expect everyone to be coming back immediately. Therefore, we are continuing the live streaming, and quite frankly, we'll be continuing it permanently for those who, for some reason, cannot return and be part of the physical gathering. So you are part of Unity, whether you come here physically or whether you listen on the web. And quite frankly, I need to say I am extremely grateful for your continued financial support through this difficult time. And please remember, it's not really over just because we started services again. It's not over until everyone feels safe again. And since we're continuing the live streaming, join us in whatever way feels right to you. Now, the opening statement this morning is, I live and move and have my being in a sea of God life. Together. I live and move and have my being in a sea of God life. Now close your eyes and just feel it one more time. I live and move and have my being right there within a whole sea of God life. It's all around me. It's within me. It's everywhere present. I live within the presence of God. Thank you, God. Amen. Now, every year for the anniversary, I go over some of the history of the church. So let's do that. Unity Orlando was founded May 17th, 1976 by the Reverends L.E., that's L.E., and Ethel Meyer. People have asked me what L.E. means, and I got to tell you, I'm not entirely sure. He went by L.E. all of his life. In either case, the Meyers, L.E. and Ethel, were two of maybe a handful of people who were most instrumental in molding the entire Unity movement. And they were our founders. We were the church of their older years. So, as you can guess, we're very proud. And we feel that our roots in Unity, they run deep into the very founding of Unity. We're very proud of that. So, let's talk about our founders for a moment. L.E. Meyer was born in 1902. And in 1927, he became very ill. And he ended up unable to take care of it any other way. He went to Unity and he got his healing. And it was at that point that he decided to dedicate his life to the Unity movement. He started in Silent Unity, but he worked in all the different aspects of Unity. He worked very closely with Charles Fillmore and Myrtle Fillmore and later Cora Fillmore. They were close personal friends and close personal compatriots. So while he was out there working for Unity in the early years, he married Ethel Cox. And to his dying day, he would declare that marrying her was one of the better decisions of his life. But He decided in 1934 that it was time to become a Unity minister, to spread the message out in that way. And so he was ordained in 1934. He was such a dynamic individual, had so much impact on everyone, that he was selected the very first president of the Unity Ministers Association. And when Papa Charlie, that is the original Charles Fillmore, stepped down as senior minister of Unity Temple, that is Unity's mother church, Papa Charlie asked L.E. Meyer to become the minister of Unity Temple, and Ethel to be his assistant minister. Now, while at Unity Temple, Elise oversaw the building of Unity Temple on the Plaza. This was the Country Club Plaza was a brand new idea of creating a wonderful experience in the middle of Kansas City, and he got in on it. And I believe we're the only church that's on the original square of the Country Club Plaza. But it was a multi-million-dollar project in the 40s. You do the math on what that would be today. 4,000 people attended the dedication. Ellie served the Mother Church of Unity for 29 years and stepped down in the early 70s. Ellie was known as the minister's minister. Some of the greatest names, the people that we go, these were the greats of Unity. When you spoke to them, they said L.E. Meyer was our inspiration. That's how important he was. He retired to Florida. And in 1976, Ellie and Ethel founded our church. They would constantly say, because they attended this church forever after he stepped back, they would constantly say, we served many Unity churches, but we only founded one. That is the specialness of who we are, and we need to never forget that. After only 2 years, they stepped back as ministers emeritus, though they were always there, kind of right over there in that pew. They were right there supporting the whole way through quite a number of ministers. And the very last act that L.E. Meyer ever did in a Unity pulpit was the dedication prayer for our new church building right here. That's such an honor. Our church history, well, it was first located in Winter Park. Moved to this location in 1986. This was a little old Church of God building on a very small property. I came here in December of 1993. That means this year I will have been the minister here for 27 years. If that sounds like a long time, well, how do you get 27 anyway? I was ordained at age 23 years old in 1973. So that means I've been a minister, that is a Unity minister, for 47 years this year. There aren't many of us left, actually. You got to start young to get that in there. What we did after my arrival is that we bought 4 adjoining properties, we built a new church, and we dedicated this new building on Easter of 1998. Now, it's important before I leave this to mention the tie. Anyone who's been around has already recognized the tie. Okay. Before L.E. Meyer left, and he in his mid to latter 90s, he went off to spend a little bit of time with his daughter. He and Ethel moved to Washington State to be with their daughter prior to their passing. But before he left Orlando, he invited me, took me into his bedroom, and had his tithes laid out on the bed and said, "Here, I'm going to give you my tithes." When Ellie Meyer offers you his tithes, you take them. And he also had several tie tacks. And a few times a year, and particularly on this day, the celebration of the anniversary, I bring into the pulpit, I wear into the pulpit, Ellie Meyer's tie that so many of us who can remember him wearing. This was the signature one, the one that looked like a stained glass window. In either case, I wear the tie and one of the tie tacks that he gave me. And I take great pleasure in knowing that to this day, a little piece of Ellie Meyer walks into this pulpit. This church has always been a gathering of spiritual leaders. It's been a strong congregation. And we see unity as a touchstone where people come to open to new miracles in their lives. Well, as we say, happy birthday, unity. Let's get the celebration going by turning it back over to Brian. He's going to share our joy song.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the light of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the light of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the light of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the light of God. I hold you in my heart. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God.
Thank you, Brian. That was beautiful. And now that they've listened to you sing some music, they might allow me to talk again for a little while. So here we go. The topic this morning is head in the clouds and feet in the earth. The idea here is that the goal of the spiritual aspirant, the one who travels the spiritual path, their goal is to be the conduit between the heavens and the earth. To have your consciousness, your life, connected to the heavens and expressing fully in the earth. And thus it is, we're said, to strive to have your head in the clouds, in the celestial realms, and your feet firmly rooted in the earth. We are the connection between heaven and earth. And as we awaken, that's the role that we truly play. To this end, sometimes it's worth realizing that there's an energy that rises out of the earth, and that earth energy is who I am, as well as the celestial energy. And so we call it the ascending energy, feeling the earth as it rises through us, that strength, that groundedness. And then at the same time, feeling the celestial realms, all the expansion of the higher realms, and feeling all that celestial energy descending down through the top of my head and moving through me as a blessing into the earth. If you do a 12 powers meditation, you'll find they talk about this ascending and descending energy. So today, what we're going to talk about is balancing the two worlds we live in. You know, the spiritual and the physical. Not just balancing them, but maybe in the end even merging them. Because you see, so many people think, well, you're either physical or you're spiritual. The truth is you're both. And a truly illumined being functions on both levels. The goal of the spiritual path is not to escape a physical world, but rather to experience the full experience of your spiritual nature while participating in this temporary experience that we call earth, living in the earth. There are people who've come to me in the past, not so much anymore. But in the past, I used to have people, there would be something physical that needed to be done. They said, oh, I am too spiritual. I don't do any of that. I'm too spiritual. I withdraw from those types of physical activities. To them, I would usually respond, oh, you're too spiritual, are you? Then you just try not brushing your teeth for a year. If you're really spiritual, there won't be a problem. You're a physical being for the moment. But you are also an eternal spiritual being. There's an old story, what's it like after enlightenment, the disciple asks, and the master says, before enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. And after enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. You came here to be in the earth, not to escape it. But you didn't come here to get lost in the earth. You came here to know you are a spiritual being while going through and participating in a physical experience. There was a movie out quite a few years ago. It's called The Razor's Edge. It's the only one I've ever seen where Bill Murray plays a dramatic role. Okay, he's usually in all the slapstick comedies, but he did an excellent job. You say The Razor's Edge, what was it? It's a story of the spiritual path, because it is said, and that's what they were using as the basis of this movie, that watching the spiritual path, or walking the spiritual path, is like walking a razor's edge. You've got to walk an absolute balance between physical life and spiritual life. And you do that by seeing the glory of spirit moving through everything that you face in the physical world. Merging the two worlds, you might say. If you fall off the physical side and become lost in the physical, you experience this tremendous fear of loss, because everything in the world, in the physical world, is temporary. It's all disappearing from the moment you experience it. And so there's this tremendous sense of loss. If you are a physical being, you're afraid of losing things. But if you become this spiritual being, and I've gone too far on that side, and I can tell you what that one's all about too. Because if you fall off on the spiritual side and you do not keep the balance while we are here, then nothing in this temporary world matters that much. You realize, it's temporary, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and so you do not put your heart and soul into this life. And you're here to have your feet firmly rooted in the earth. To live that balance, you've got to deeply invest in your physical life with all of its challenges and imperfections. And yet at the same time, see Spirit permeating everything that you're going through. In a sense, I like to compare earth life to creating an ice sculpture. It's always melting away. And the beauty of the ice sculpture and the beauty of earth life is in appreciating everything fully now. Cherishing it now, because it will shortly be gone. So, the key to enlightenment is living your life well, no matter what you're faced with. It's enjoying each moment, not just a few of them. It's becoming super aware of your world, not blocking it out. It's appreciating the glory of life shining through every physical experience, whether it's a small one or a very large one. And it's facing your challenges, because earth life is all about challenges. Facing your challenges as a spiritual being, not just a physical human being. If you fall into the physical too much, if it commands your entire attention, when a challenge comes up, you meet it with shock, and you become totally ineffective. We all know those people, when the disaster comes, they're useless. And then there are those who, the moment disaster comes, kick into gear. And they do become extremely efficient and function at their top capability in order to handle what's happening. That's who you want to be in this earth life. You want to be spiritual enough to not get lost in the loss when you're experiencing disaster or difficulty in any way, shape, or form. And just move into, how can I handle this best? How can I help everyone through this situation? I'll bet you've been thinking about that lately. Because we're kind of all in this situation together. It's not normal, is it? So then, the key to your head in the clouds, your feet in the earth, is to immerse yourself in this world. Don't block it out. You don't get more spiritual by blocking the physical out. Immerse yourself in it and appreciate the challenges of spiritual life as experience the challenges of physical life as your spiritual assignment. We aren't here to never have to meet a challenge. When you become enlightened, it isn't suddenly like everything's wonderful, 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 wonderful thereafter. It is, but you're going to have spiritual eyes to see that, because physically it isn't always going to look that way. We are here to realize, I am a spiritual being. But I am here to experience this temporary, constantly melting away like an ice sculptor, physical life. And know I am spirit as I do this. Remember, you are a spiritual being. You cannot be harmed by tragedy, pain, or even death. But how you handle what you encounter here is the whole reason you came here. It's not winning or losing. It's how you handle it. And that will be how you build your soul through this life. In Matthew 22, 17 and 21, Jesus is asked, "Is it lawful to pay head tax to Caesar?" And Caesar said to them, "Give therefore to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." Should you rebel against the demands of the physical world? Should you say, "Heck no, I won't go. I won't do this"? No. You're here to play. And you're going to do the best job you can. And there are lots of demands that Caesar, the physical world, puts on us. And we're going to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but we are also, at the same time, going to render unto God what is God's, and see Spirit moving in everything that is. Experience the celestial energies moving through us as we walk through this physical life to be the conduit through which God blesses the earth. No matter what I got to go through down here. In Matthew 13, 24 through 30, it says, Jesus related another parable, saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But when the blade sprang up and bore fruit, then the tares appeared also. His servants then said to him, 'Do you want us to go and pull up the tares?' But he said to them, 'It might happen that while you are pulling out the tares, you might uproot also the wheat. Let them both grow together until the harvest. And at the harvest I will say to the reapers, pick out first the tares and bind them into bundles to be burned, but gather the wheat into my barns.' Let the tares and the wheat grow side by side, the physical world and the spiritual world side by side. Let the personal human self grow side by side, right along with the soul or the eternal spiritual being. The end of life, the personal human self kind of gets reaped, tossed away. It disappears. It's served its temporary purpose. And the soul moves on into the higher realms. But they're meant to grow together. You're meant to be your soul. But your soul's intent is to live this physical life through this personal self until it passes. So I want to talk about ways to walk the razor's edge, the balance between the physical life and the spiritual life. Number one, immerse yourself in this world while seeing Spirit moving through it all. Don't try to escape the earth. Immerse yourself in it. Experience it fully. But don't get lost in thinking that what your physical eyes see is all that there is. At the same time, see Spirit shining through everything that happens, through everything that is. Walter Stocky wrote a whole book titled, It's All God, and that sort of wraps it up. It's all God. Don't live in duality of here's this physical world and here's the spiritual world. It's all God. Part of it's temporary and part of it's eternal. But it's all God. So appreciate the simple beauty of physical life all around you. Because the way it is today, it won't be forever. You need to love it now. The second suggestion is to give thanks for what you have. Everything physical comes from God, right? It's all God. So, all these physical things you think you want, it's God. And it comes from God. And gratitude to God for what you have in the physical world, is what kind of ties it all together. And that's what you're here to do, is to tie it all together. So this wonderful sense of gratitude to God for what I have is, in a sense, fulfilling the part of the purpose of your soul. Number 3, appreciate your challenges as spiritual assignments. That can be hard when the challenges are really difficult for us. But in the end, no matter what we have to go through, no matter how seemingly horrible it is, we have to see it as a spiritual learning opportunity. There's something to be gleaned here that my soul is going to take with me. So the deal is this. When we meet a challenge, we often try to close it out. Ooh, I'm not going to pay any attention. That hurts. And we actually, as spiritual beings, need to do the opposite. When facing a challenge, we need to become more aware and immerse ourselves, aware of the beauty in the midst of the ugliness. The order that surely is coming out of the chaos. We've got to become extremely aware. If you become very, very aware, there is always God shining through everything. And if you're not seeing it, you're just not aware enough. So what we do is we expand our awareness. We become intensely focused upon what goodness and beauty we can find even in the midst of this challenge. Very, very aware. Number 4, strive to live a quality earth life. It sounds so simple, and yet it really takes a lot of commitment. Strive to live a quality life. Not one in which you're immersed in yourself, but a quality life in which you are taking care of yourself, but you also care about others, in which everything you do to your best ability. What you want to do is do everything to your best and be happy whatever happens. We only want to be happy if we get our way. If you're a truly spiritual being, you will be happy even when things aren't going your way. You'll feel that inner joy. You'll see there's still beauty around you. You'll adapt and see what new thing lies before you. Strive to live a quality earth life. Well, be the agent of God wherever you find yourselves. Try to make things better. Try to make things better. Wherever I am, what contribution can I make? I'm living a quality life. I'm not just sliding through. I am here to give of myself, and I'm kind of God's secret agent. Wherever I go, I am going to anonymously, quietly, in whatever way I can, though sometimes it's not anonymous and quiet, but in whatever way I am, I'm going to make my contribution to help things be a little better. Being a little better is not knowing what's wrong with everything. In the end, it's it's praising what's right and nurturing it. Number 5, balance your human self and your spiritual self. Balance your soul, the eternal part of your being, with your personal self. Your temporary ego, which is where we spend 99 and 100% of our time, balance it with your eternal spiritual being, that eternal child of light that you are. You are both a human being and a being of light, an eternal being of light. You are both at the same time. Therefore, nurture them both. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. Make sure your life, in a balanced way, is honoring both sides of your being. You're going to, in the end, balance physical work with meditation or spiritual contemplation. Remember, even the illumined, after they have experienced this tremendous awakening, chop wood and carry water. They just happen to do it in the midst of ecstasy. I want to close with a practice, and one that I'm going to suggest that you do each morning. If you can balance yourself in the morning, you're ready to face the world. It's head in the clouds, feet rooted in the earth. So for your practice, you're going to feel yourself down into the earth and feel yourself reaching into the earth and feel that groundedness. Then it's time to turn around and go the other direction and expand right out of the top of your head into the higher realms and feel the etheric realms, the celestial part of your being. Then go back and feel the ascending current, the current of the earth, the energy of the earth rising up through you and overflowing at your heart. And turn your attention upward to that space you've explored and feel all the energy of the celestial realms, the very Spirit of God, the power of God, descending down through the top of your head and through you as you then radiate it into the earth. And when you can feel them both, affirm to yourself, I am the connection between heaven and earth. Now you're ready to go face the world. So let's do that right now. Let's close our eyes. I live, I move, I have my being within a sea of God life. It's all God. Whether I reach into the earth or into the heavens, it's all God. So as we begin now, reach into the earth. Feel the quiet power of the earth. And this physical body belongs to the earth. So feel your feet rooted in the earth As if your being goes right out through the bottom of your feet and into the earth. And feel that groundedness, that strength. Now rise out through the top of your head while your feet are still immersed in the earth. And reach into the heavens. I am a being of light. I am a being of spirit. And all the celestial energies of the heavens, they descend into my life. So once again, as you feel yourself stretching into the heavens and into the earth, move back into the earth, but now feel the very energy of the earth rising through you. Rising right up the pole of your being, up to your heart and overflowing back into the earth. And there's a sense of being home in this physical world. But as we feel that, when we hold that kind of in the background, as we now reach up into that space where we've extended into the heavens, the infinite realms of light, and we feel the expanse of spirit, the glory of God, the power of God to mold and move all physical experience. And in this moment, feel all the celestial realms descending through that open portal in your Christ center there at the top of your head. And descending down the pole of your being to fill your life, right there alongside the energy of the earth. And you feel the very celestial energies radiating out of your hands into the earth below you and right out through your feet. And so in this moment, up and down the pole of your being, feel the descending energy of spirit, the ascending energy of the earth. Both moving down and moving up through you. In the end, you are the connecting link between the heavens and the earth. I am the connection between heaven and earth. And Spirit uses this life I live to bless the earth. Because I have passed through here. My life is blessed. Spirit moves through me. and all the world is blessed around me. Father, for this spiritual task that is set before us, to bring the heavens into the earth, for the ability to be the channel of thy work and thy will. We are truly grateful. And we are ready to go out and face the world. Thank you, God. Amen. Just a little bit of that every morning before you start your day. I'm going to bet your life will improve phenomenally. Well, it's time for our offering. And you can give your offering by going to the home page and clicking on the Donate Now link. You choose PayPal, and you can use a credit card or debit card. Or you can take our physical address off the website and mail us a check. We truly appreciate your support. Let's take our affirmation. Whatever it is you're going to give, let's bless it. Our offertory blessing is divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God, for thy abundance manifested in all of our lives. Amen. Now, just once again, I am very grateful to each of you for supporting us through this time. And I'm going to, in just a moment, ask Brian to take over and provide the musical high point. I just want you to know I've got a couple of announcements to make after he's done. Okay, but take over, Brian.
All right. When we breathe, it sounds like a whispering wind, and the day begins to shine. I can see it looks like heaven's above, but it's in our hearts full of love. We can find our way through the beauty of the day if we let love pave the way. We can make love grow like a pretty flower shows the beauty of a beautiful day. I can hear the silence of a morning to come. Before the day's begun, I can feel the dew dropping off of a song. Hear a new song before it's begun. We can find our way through the beauty of the day if we let love pave the way. We can make love grow like a pretty flower shows the beauty of a beautiful day. The day if we let love pave the way. We can make love grow like a pretty flower shows the beauty of a beauty. We can find let love pave the way. We can make love grow like a pretty flower shows the beauty of a beauty. We can find our way through the beauty of the day if we let love pave the way. We can make love grow like a pretty flower shows the beauty of a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Such a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Thank you, Brian, and it truly is a beautiful day. And if you're seeing with spiritual eyes, every day is a beautiful day. Wow, thank you so much. Quickly, if you didn't hear it at the first service, the first announcement is next week we open up for services on site here at the church, and we have live stream on the internet. Okay? You got to decide which format you're going to be most comfortable with, but you're part of us either way. Both are available. If you do come to the church, though, here's the rules again. We encourage masks. We sit every other pew with families 6 foot apart. There will be no greeting time or social hour in Meyer Hall. I won't be greeting you in the back. And basically, we're trying to make attending Unity as safe as possible for you during this pandemic era that we're all having to deal with. Okay, so I'll either see you in the pew or right here at home next Sunday morning, 9:15 and 11 a.m. The second announcement is there is a new class starting called Spiritual Awakening by Reverend Johannes. It's going to be online. It's June 17th. It'll begin in both English and then another day on Spanish, right? Something like that. In either case, the book needs to be ordered. So if you think you're going to be interested in this, they're trying to let you know as soon as possible. Spiritual Awakening. Should be a wonderful class. And of course, Wednesday evening at 4:30 is the meditation on Facebook. So next week is Memorial Day weekend. In May, there's something going on every week, right? Memorial Day weekend, and my topic will be prayer for protection. The prayer for protection. We're going to talk about it. So, Brian, happy birthday, Unity. Happy 44 years. Thank you for being here at Unity's birthday party. And Brian's going to close it off in something very familiar. He's going to lead us all in singing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth, and Let It Begin With Me."
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in praise eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week. See you next Sunday.